The Conference Board of Canada has released its 2026 outlook for Winnipeg's economy, sharing key trends that will both help and impede growth in our region. Richard Forbes is the principal economist with the Conference Board of Canada and joins me now to discuss what we can expect. Richard, good to speak with you.
Thanks for having me.
You know, we know tariffs have been a huge factor and worry when it comes to economic growth. I'm curious, how do you see Winnipeg faring this year under the current conditions?
Well, 2026 is going to be, another year of uncertainty, right? So, we had that all through 2025. We didn't know what was going on with trade policy. And, the fact is that's still where we are today. That being said, the Winnipeg economy has held up pretty well relative to other parts of Canada. The economy is very diversified. The service sector is very strong in the city. And on the manufacturing side, we've seen activity continuing to go along with a lot of the unfilled orders at NFI and Boeing as well. So far, we're cautiously optimistic that the economy of Winnipeg will do well in 2026.
You mentioned a couple sectors. I'm curious which sectors of our city's economy are, seen as the real bright spots in this latest outlook.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, healthcare is one for sure that's going to benefit from the provincial government's plan for healthcare services going forward. But the one industry that we're really focusing on right now in the area is the construction industry. So the Portage Place Mall redevelopment rather is underway, and that is going to revitalize the city's downtown core. There's a lot of investments in healthcare as well. The Victoria Hospital expansion. There's the Cancer Research Hospital as well. So a lot of different, infrastructure and commercial real estate developments going on in the city will ultimately boost the construction industry, revitalize the city, and hopefully that will spill over to other industries over the next few years as well.
This latest forecast is predicting slower population gains. I'm curious how this could affect the city's labor and housing markets.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's kind of one of the downside parts of our outlook here is the population. And this isn't just in Winnipeg, this is all across the country with the federal government's much lower immigration targets right now. So we should see the population of Winnipeg kind of flatten out over the next couple of years. What that's going to do is that's going to limit investment in the housing sector a little bit. It's going to, maybe lead to a little less job creation. But on the other end of the spectrum, housing affordability has been a big challenge in recent years. So the slower population growth should at least ease some of the pressure in the housing market. But overall, it does weigh on overall GDP growth.
Overall, how does 2026 look for Winnipeg's economy, when you look at past years and other places across the country?
We think 2026 is going to be another kind of rocky year in terms of the uncertainty front. But that being said, the city has held up well, and we're cautiously optimistic that, all this trade dispute that's going on, hopefully that'll resolve itself towards the end of the year. And if that's the case, Winnipeg is in a really good position going forward.
Richard, I want to thank you for your insight and your time tonight. It was great speaking with you.
Thank you very much for having me.